Hey, good morning, everybody. So let's get right into it. 20 straight winning trades, 11 straight winning sessions. Strategy for today: do not chase. No fucking way in hell I'm going to chase the gap up this morning. Generally, when we gap down, we're buying the dip, right? We gap down, you buy the dip, it's back at yesterday's level or the day before levels. On gap up, I generally like to fade the gap up, but markets are 5% from all-time highs, which means hell, I'd be fighting big money and momentum. Just because I think I would be right doesn't mean the market will agree. Let's remember, I'm generally early. So today, what is my trading strategy? First off, stress-free trading, right? Stress-free trading, you want to secure profit, right? And you want to have a complete strategy. So if I don't have a complete strategy right now, I don't even know what I'm going into. So what do? Today, I'm going to show patience. I'm going to let the market play out. Let's remember, the Fed spoke at 2:30 yesterday. They dropped the information, 25 basis point increase at 2 p.m. And I will tell you, there are no more scheduled rate hikes for the end of the year, according to the market. Now, let's remember, the Fed said that there should be one more rate hike, but they're going to base it on market data, on CPI, on PPI, on PCE. PCE coming out tomorrow morning at 8:30. Again, so there's still a lot of data, and we're in the midst of earnings for the S&P 500 companies. I think we've got about 20% of them reporting this week. Remember, we're only Thursday morning. So yes, Meta beat, but they still lost $13 billion on their metaverse, going with $8 billion last year on their metaverse. They've lost $21 billion. They should just shut down that metaverse. Okay, anyway, show patience today. That's how you're going to be a winning trader. Use a watch list. I made a posting on Webull the other day. I showed my watch list. I'll do it on our Discord as well. I think we have a public watch list. So I just put down my watch list. It has about 10 or 12 option positions that I'm looking at. So what do? Same way you look at stocks. I'm waiting for my option to bottom, whether it's puts or calls. It doesn't matter. It's going to start out here. I think it's obviously going higher. It goes down. I'm waiting for it to find some support or bottom. When I find that, I start easing into the position. 1 contract, 2 contracts, 4 more, 6 more, 8 more contracts. Once I have a good position and it spikes up and I'm looking for that spike, I get out. I'll secure that 20, 25, 30. Yesterday, my last trade was 50% profit, right? United Airlines, which is down pre-market. It's probably the only stock down pre-market this morning. But remember, I gave the alert and I'll show it. It was $60, went down to $58. I said I missed entry, right? I said my exit was going to be $94. As it was approaching 90, I was like, okay, maybe I should just sell and take profit. Then I said to myself, I tell everybody, use your exit strategy. $94. It went to 94. Boom, it spiked to $1.04. So I left extra money on the table. All right, with that said, use your watch list. Days like today, where I'm untrusting of the gap up, I just need to use the flows and algorithms, specifically the net flow for the SPY, the Qs, and the Russell. Okay, so hopefully everybody understands that. That's going to give you an added bonus. I'll show you what I mean about the net flows. Let me just see if I can attach Discord right here. Now, those that don't know about our Discord, what is this? Let me just get over to Discord. Oh, okay. This was Love 723 late at night, right? Here's her watch list. Neo. Well, what did Neo do? It went up like 10%. What, 3 days in a row, 2 days in a row? It's up 4 or 5% this morning. So you're talking about 25% move since she mentioned these. Look, January, November, October. Wow, these have room to run. So Neo was still at like $11. Now it's probably at $13. These are all going to be up hundreds of percents. That's the small account alerts. You know, we've certain things for that. Here's my trades, right? Yeah, I was in 2 carnivals, right? 2 carnivals yesterday. I got in at $14 per contract. What's that? $28. You don't need to have a huge amount of money, right? It's at what, $18.50 pre-market. I'm going to ask for $64 a contract, a 300% increase. No, that was my video from this morning. Yeah, everybody gets a pre-market video. Okay, so here we go. Here's what I like to look at: net flow. So this is your market net flow for yesterday. Understand, what did I mention would happen around the Fed, right? Right around the Fed's time, we're going to see extreme chop, and it's going to be violent. So we shot up. Then we shot down to a lower point. Then we finished stronger. Okay. So again, I'm untrusting of this. We're gapping up probably because of Meta's pushing everything higher. But here's what I'll do. So I'll go on and I'll look at the net flow. Now, I don't want to just look at the daily net flow. What is this option? See right here, Love is looking at MDT. I know there were like 23,000 calls purchased with a $95 strike. So again, that's like $5 higher than where we're at right now, which would be what? About 6%. I think it was purchased with like a September date of this year, $95 calls. Here they are, 16,000. So what am I going to do? I'm going to add this one to my watch list, right? If they think this is good by September or October and go to $95, then I can get in and wait for the spike. So hopefully everybody uses the flows and algorithms. I will use the net flow. Let's just look at the Qs today, right? I'll go 5 days out. That way it gives me more vision. I'm zooming out rather than just looking at today, tomorrow, yesterday. I'm looking at the 5-day range as far as the net flow goes. So let's just wait for that to populate. Okay, there it goes. So let me just open it up. So what are we seeing? White is the price of the Qs. Green is the cost of the calls. Red is the cost of the puts. So what do we see here? Oh, shit. Puts. They sold all their puts. What am I expecting? The market to go higher ever since I saw this. Then we see calls spike, right? Okay, market's going up. What are they doing? They're selling their calls, okay? Telling me the market could go down, right? Puts are still pretty high. And then end of day yesterday, they finally started selling their puts. Calls spiked past puts, which gives me extreme bull case scenario to end the day. So if I was looking at this at 3:50 p.m., guess what? I would have saw the start of this. I probably would have held any call positions overnight or even entered some looking for a gap up because it's telling you that right here on the Qs. And then what do we see? We saw Meta beat. Now, not only the Qs, I'm going to look for the entire market. So I'll do net flow, market, and again, I'll go 5 days out. Gives me a little history, gives you a better picture, allows you to zoom out and focus more on, hey, what's been going on in the past 5 days? Does it make sense with how I'm reading the market? Now, I talk to people, and I'm going to show you guys one more trick. So here's your market net flow. Let's just see where we're at. Okay, markets, we spiked up to 457. We're down back to 457. We're at 458 this morning. What are we saying? Okay, it closed the day. Calls are being sold off a little on the entire market. Okay, this is the net flow of the market. Puts were being bought up. So it'll be interesting. The fact that we're gapping up on the white, okay, on the price, it'll be interesting to see if puts spike off of the open and if calls drop and people take profit. If people take profit and calls go down and puts spike on the open, then guess what Matt's going to do? Matt's going to understand profit taking is out there. That way they expect the market to go down. So I'll see that. If calls spike on open, then shit, they're going to expect the market to ride higher. And what might I do? Since I'm not going to chase. That's already what I said today. So if calls spike on open, the market spikes higher, then I'm just going to wait for the net flow to show me something different. If we rise all day, steps higher, then there's no trading to do. Speaking of steps higher, let's get into my pictures that I love to show everybody. This is what your accounts should look like. Steps higher. Okay, what is this? A 1 month chart, right? I didn't trade for like 3 weeks, but when I traded, what do? We just step higher. We make winning trades. That's what you want to do. It's not, now I used to be a damn active trader. So I'm going to tell you one of my pitfalls. I used to be so damn active. If someone's putting our Discord link. Yes, you could join our Discord, but it's on the side. I used to be so active where Carlos would come over. We'd be doing something in the office. I already made 4 trades during the day. I was up $12,000. I was like, hey, I'm going to buy this. Hey, shush, be quiet over there. I'm about to buy something. I bought something. I'm like, okay, I'm up 1,400, 2,800, 4,200. Remember, I used to go really strong. And then all of a sudden he's like, hey, take profit. I'm like, hey, shut up. You don't know what you're doing. And then I'd go from 4,000 up to break even. Then I'm down 6,000. I'm like, hey, Carlos, remember that trade? I was up 4,000. Now I'm down 6,000 on the day where I was up 10,000. I'm only up 4,000. At least it's still a positive. He's like, hey, just sell and move on. I'm like, no, I'm going to sell. I'm going to wait for that one bounce because that bounce always comes. My shit's falling. It's going to bounce. I'm going to take the bounce. I'm going to exit. There was no bounce. From down 4,000, I was down 16,000. End of the day, minus 17,000 from being up 8 to 10,000. $25,000 switch. I said to myself, I'm going to ride the position overnight. I'll get the morning bounce the next day, right? So I'd wait overnight, get that morning bounce. Instead of the morning bounce, I just dropped another 15,000 on open, then scare sold my position. Thank goodness, only down 32. So that's what the difference is. The difference is now we trade smarter. We wait on entry. We have a complete strategy. Remember the 3 S's: secure profit, right? Stress-free trading, because I used to stress. I used to watch my phone. Man, should I have sold? Should I not have sold them? I mean, if you all are doing the same thing, please comment on the side. I see a lot of you are watching, and I know a lot of you are like, man, watching your phone or something like that. Okay, so last lesson right here. Let me just remove this and tell you how I analyze the market during the day. Let me share my screen so you all can look at with me. All right, so I use anybody can use this free. It's TradingView. I'm not a member of TradingView, but I do use their website. So let me just add that in. Okay, here you go, TradingView. So I will got that up, right? You all can see that. So I've got all my watch lists, different stocks, some same, right? I got the 2 hour, just the 2 hours, so I can show you guys that we're almost at 460 on the SPY. I mean, yesterday's prediction that we're going to 460 on the SPY, then we're going to sell off and go to 450. It's still very possible, very plausible. But again, I would not be buying puts until I saw a reversal on this market. We're 5% from all-time highs. We're gapping up this morning. Yes, there could be some consolidation, but I would just say play cautiously. Okay, so I've got it up. I like to look at the 1, the 3, and the 5 minute. So here we go, 5 minute chart. You could see yesterday ended huge volume. Now here's the interesting thing on the 2 hour, what I wanted to show everybody. If we go back, and this is the 2 hour chart, so we're going back to there's July, maybe the beginning of June. You saw huge volume here. What happened? We saw outflow, huge volume, 3 or 4 straight days of inflow. So it reversed. Then I'm looking for any large spikes. Here's a large spike right here. The beginning of July, what was it? July 6th, right? Huge spike up here in volume, outflow. What do we see? 2 reversal, 2 days of inflow. So I'm not saying, and then yesterday or the past, yesterday, you could say huge spike, green inflow. What's likely to happen? It's likely to reverse. So again, I'm just basing it, or I'm showing you guys why I get cautious or why I might heed some caution, because again, when I'm looking at huge volume here, it was red, we spiked down here, we reversed. Okay, so it's just showing you reversal. Same thing, right? This date right here, outflow followed by 2 days of inflow, a reversal. What did we see? We saw inflow, right? Big green candle. We're up to 459, so we're gonna have a green candle to start today. So it'll be 2 days in a row. So I'm actually gonna look for a reversal. I don't know if it's gonna happen Friday, Monday, Tuesday. I would think I'd probably wait for Monday. Again, I'm not going to chase the market. I'm going to show patience. I want to be in and out of trade. But this is what I look at. So to the 2 hour chart, interesting. I usually look at the 1 minute, tells me a reversal. I use it as a sniper tool. 3 minute as a little confirmation. I'll use a 5 minute to get back into the trade. And then I'm usually out of the trade within 15, 20 minutes. So again, I'm sitting in front of the computer on the 1 minute, looking at volume, which is on the bottom. I've got all my stocks here that I like to follow. NVIDIA, SPY, Google, Meta, right? Ford's there, Coin, because Coin has some good action. The Qs, Tesla, Affirm. So this is what I saw in Affirm. I saw this a couple times. Affirm, when it goes up, it has strong, like someone buys in pretty heavy on Affirm. When it goes down, you're looking at these smaller little lines, fading volume right here. So somebody bought Affirm up right here, 1754. So when I got in at $17.24, that was great entry. I alerted this one yesterday. It was between this and United Airlines. I went with United Airlines. The Affirm order made 100%. United Airlines, I made 50%. So again, but I'm just showing you guys what I like to do. 1 minute, I'm looking for volume. So here we go. Chewy, end of the day. Look at this. So we had a volume spike here after they sold off, a reversal right here, but I wouldn't believe it until I saw this volume right here. And then you get that spike up there. So anywhere time you get a spike up here, I'm going to look for outflow. I would have got in right here if I was just focused on Chewy. So 33.16, and Chewy's at $34 right now. So again, gapping up this morning. Notice Chewy gapping up. Let's just show you a larger scale over here. It hasn't been this high in a number of days. Okay, well, only 3 days. So I guess Chewy's acceptable. But that's why I have the 2 hour, because I want to see if it makes sense. If we get a gap and it doesn't make sense on the chart, then you can't be there. All right, so I have Apple. What did SoFi do at the end of the day? Holy shit, good volume. So again, when you saw a volume spike here and SoFi went up to, I don't know, $9.45, it goes off in your mind, hey, I could get into SoFi today. These are how I find my daily plays. I look for a spike in volume, and then I wait for it to come back down and the market to come back down. And I could have got in here. I could have got in this 1 minute gap, or even dipped over here, 935. Let's just say I got a 935 over here, sold here, right in here. Okay, this would have made me nervous right in here. This volume spike would have made me nervous, and there's a chance I probably would have sold at 950, so 935 to 950. But if I had held and then I saw this repeated volume and then to close the day, I would definitely be holding overnight. Then you go to the 2-hour chart. Where are we at? 970. So when you're talking about finding entry, you have to use entry on the 3-minute, the 5-minute. Again, you're looking for something like this, followed by outflow on smaller volume. Again, when the market sells off strongly, okay, there are some days, and this is how I know the market's going down some days, I will see heavy volume and the market dips in the morning, and then it fades higher on lighter volume. So you're seeing just lighter volume, it's fading higher. I know as soon as heavy volume comes in again, it's going to sell off. So if I'm a smart investor, I'm an institution, I have something I want to sell, and I see the market fading higher, what am I going to do? I'm not going to sell at 9:30. I'm going to wait for it to fade higher, 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 higher. Stock's going up. I want to sell it. Let's say I want to sell Apple. I'm not going to sell Apple on market open. I'm going to sell Apple when it looks like the market's going to reverse. If it takes till 2 p.m. and I'm an institution, that's why sometimes you see the market fading higher, and then all of a sudden you'll see a steep drop. So again, that's a great strategy for me today. I'm going to use the net flow as I showed everybody using Discord, right? Then I'm going to let the market fade higher. I'm going to watch volume. Here's how I check volume. I look at the SPY. By 10 a.m., volume on the SPY has to be 10 million or more for it to be a potentially heavy volume day. If it's less than 10 million, I already know we're trading light. Okay, with that said, let's talk about a couple other things, and then I'll go into my watch list. So current market expectations of the Fed funds rate. The Fed funds rate tells us rate hike, rate pause, what's going on. So rate hike yesterday, 25 basis points. It has September, November, December, January, all pauses, right? With March having a 25 basis point rate cut and an additional cut to 4.1% by January 2025. So they're looking for a rate hike to take us up to 5.5, right? And then 6 rate cuts. So basically next year it's just going to be cut, 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 cut. March, April, May, June, September, October. Me, I don't buy that shit. So again, guys, wake up. Okay, the S&P hasn't dropped by more than 1% in 43 consecutive trading days. To make it today, it's not going to drop by 1%. So by 44 consecutive trading days, the Dow is now on a record streak. It has 12 straight up days. Today will obviously be day number 13. That's an all-time streak since the Dow was like since the market was been around. So I mean, this is what I was going to get into today. I saw 3 massive orders of Amazon. However, Amazon's probably spiking up, and I'm not playing the gap up. But my plan yesterday was Amazon SPY range yesterday had a 3.5 point range, 64 million volume. Yeah, so let me just see what we got here. Those are the UALs. These are the Shopify calls. You guys don't give a shit about that. So let me just go over to my watch list now, and we'll talk about what I've got on top. McDonald's reported earnings. Don't really care. Then I added MDT, Medtronics, because as I showed on Discord, and let me see if I can just find that real quick one more time. Share screen. Actually, I'm not going to be able to find it. I don't even remember what room it was in. All right, so let me just add that to the stream, and then I'll try and find what I was talking about really quickly. All right. No, I really screwed something up. I just moved Discord to another. Okay, screw that. I just lost my Discord because I have no clue what I did. All right, so we'll just go back to my stocks here. Screw that. Okay, so what am I looking at today? My watch list. I'll tell you exactly what I have on my watch list. Let me go over to my account. Open it up. You must use a watch list because it lets you see. So I've got some Shopify calls, Honeywell calls because they had earnings, but I'm going to remove that. I had my Affirm calls. I have some Microsoft puts on there, some DraftKings calls, United Airlines calls because I'm familiar with it, Baba calls. I have some AMD puts because AMD has been the weakest of the AI sector. I had Tesla puts. Those were an old play that I made profit on, and I've got some Apple calls. Which is probably going to rocket up this morning. I mean, here's what Apple calls look like. So when you see a chart like this, you're trying to buy an option towards the bottom end, towards the bottom side. So somebody got in late in the day. Guess what? These Apple calls are going to be spiking, probably up 100% this morning, no doubt, with the spike up. So let me just see if I have anything else to share. I don't. I'm going to head over to Discord. Tomorrow is Lottery Fridays. We have PCE data dropping at 8:30 a.m. So please, please join me. Probably at 8:25, Carlos. We might go on a little earlier tomorrow. Everybody have a great day. See you all over our Discord.